Good morning, everybody. Oh, and Happy New Year as well. It's Positive Tuesday today, January 2nd, 2020. Wow, I literally have 2023 still written down. 2024, our first show of 2024. For Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden, and you're watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With 20 years experience, this locally owned and operated business provides quality work both on the inside and on the outside of your home or business. Give Brian a call today, see what they can do for you. Like Fitzy and I, they believe that the little things that make a big difference. The number's right there on the screen, 715-520-2271. Fitzy, good morning.
Morning. Brian had a good year. He went to the Packer-Viking game.
Did he really? I didn't see that.
Yeah, he had awesome seats. I mean, awesome seats. So
See, he must be doing something well with his business.
Yeah, that's right. Are you going to sponsor us a whole nother year?
I haven't talked to him. I assume so.
Just send him a bill. It's 2024.
Yeah, no kidding. Good morning, Dirk. Oh, I still haven't figured out our comment thing. Some are big.
Dirk's
some are...
just so huge in the world.
What?
Dirk's just so huge.
Yeah, right. Oh, I get it now. Yeah. Bam. Good morning. Holy cow. So, how are things going for you?
Good. How was your New Year?
Oh, it's fine. You know who's probably having a better morning than us this morning?
Who?
The members of the College Football Playoff Selection Committee. Because, wow, they killed it.
Yeah.
Those two games yesterday were phenomenal.
Yes, they were.
Look, and then there was some very well-deserving teams, and there was all that debate. I think next year goes like 12 teams. So This is the last year of all the debate about who should have been and who shouldn't. But clearly they got it right. Because those two games were just fantastic. As we always do, we start with sports. Teams. What's that?
Both undefeated, too.
Well, I know. So let's get right into our sports questions, as we always start the show with. So you had picked, last week we gave our college football predictions. You got this one right. I got it wrong. Michigan defeated Alabama. I figured it's going to be around a 28-20, 24-20. So I got the score about right. But I figured Alabama was going to pull out that win. And by the way, at no point throughout that game did I think they were going to lose it. They were not playing well, but they were winning. I'm like, yep, they got this. And then they blow it at the end. So what are your thoughts on your team, as we're calling it, Michigan winning? What did you watch the game, and what were your thoughts?
I don't know, but Michigan special teams needs to practice this week.
A little bit.
Man, Michigan blows that game out without those special teams errors. I mean, Michigan walks away with that game without special teams having all the mistakes. So, no, really good game, though. I watched most of it on and off, and it was great. Both games. I watched the first quarter, and then I was done. I had worked too long the night before, and I didn't get to watch the end of the exciting Washington-Texas game. But Michigan, no question, going to walk away with the national championship.
So you're already giving your prediction now. Well, I mean, again, you're all in. Like in football, I'm all in on the 49ers this year. You've been all in on Michigan this year. Yeah. And I keep thinking, they're not going to win this game. And they always do.
Yeah.
So, you called it. You called that when you got it right.
What about the Washington? Did you watch the Texas? You weren't up then.
I watched the first quarter and I went to bed.
That's all I could do too.
But I watched it actually again this morning because it was airing again this morning. So I watched it this morning, the rest of it. But yeah, no, I predicted last week that Washington would win, but it was going to be a high scoring, which it was. But I thought it was going to be a blowout. I was predicting like 45-30. I think it was like 37-31. So it's kind of close. That Penix Jr., man, that quarterback, I love watching him. He's my favorite player to watch.
I never had watched him. I didn't watch one. He's good,
He's
man.
So fun to watch.
Oh,
I think it's my fourth game I've watched of them this year, and oh my goodness, he's so much fun.
Big game. That's two good quarterbacks Monday night. It's a big college football's going to make money again this year.
Yeah, exactly. Now, of course, all the storylines, well, not on national news or anything, but on social media was ESPN had to apologize because what happened after the game. I don't know if you heard about that. Yeah, maybe I'll tell you offline. Okay. So after the game, the cameras were showing the street, all the fans and stuff. And there was a female who there may have been some exposure of a chest area
Oh, jeepers.
Yeah, and it was live. So,
Whoops.
yep, sorry about that. I mean, how do you can't predict. It's live, right? Like when you and I do shows. I
I
mean,
thought there
I
was
don't
a
think
5-second delay
that's
or
why I wear
something.
sweatshirts, so there's no danger.
Oh,
That's great. All right, so you've already predicted it, because I was going to ask you your prediction for now that it's going to be Michigan versus Washington. You've been all in on Michigan, so you think they're going to win by a lot or a little? How about that?
Michigan will win by a lot. They're going to walk away with it. They're going to get it going on. They're going to walk away with it. But why is it got to be so late? It starts at 7:30 at night. Washington by 10 over Michigan. Wow, Schaefer. Wow.
I'm going with Mike on this one. Yeah, I'm going with Washington. I'm all in on Penix Jr. That quarterback is phenomenal.
He is good, though. He is good. But, you guys will be 0-1 to start the year. So.
All right. Well, I do have one quick question here about sports, and that is Jim Harbaugh. We talked about it several months ago. I mean, it's such a bizarre season for them. First of all, they're overcoming everything. Legit. Great for Michigan. But the head coach, Jim Harbaugh, of course, was suspended for the first 3 games, suspended for the last 3 games for different reasons. He may be facing stuff for next year, too. We don't know yet. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of rumors have been going around for a while that he's heading to the NFL. Do you think he's going to? Or is he going to stay in Michigan?
Yeah, 2 things. One is he does go to the NFL. He's out of Michigan. He's going to win it all, and he's going to leave on the high note, and then he'll be done with all these rules that the NCAA has. And then
rules.
2, it's going to prove that these coaches or these schools don't need to pay these coaches all this big money. They can win without coaches. So, maybe you don't invest as much into your coach, but I don't know.
Well, I think a head coach really is all about the stigma of it and recruiting. I think that's the value of a head coach is the recruiting.
Probably.
Well, Coach Krzyzewski, until he retired, Duke, everyone wanted to go play for him.
Right.
He probably could have had assistant coaches coach a lot of those games. But I think the recruiting aspect is huge. And I heard he hired an agent. So last week, Jim Harbaugh did.
Harbaugh's gone. He doesn't want to get suspended again, and Michigan probably doesn't want but NFL is going to need some coaches. Obviously, coaching carousel will start after next week. And how about the big Packer-Bears game? Packers win. They go to the playoffs Saturday at 3
really?
o'clock.
I didn't know
Sunday.
that.
Sunday at 3, yeah.
I was just happy that I didn't care about the Bears won. I was happy that Arizona won and the Carolina Panthers lost, which secures the Bears for the number 1 pick next year in the draft. Yeah. So they got to go quarterback. I mean, you don't have to get rid of Justin Fields, but get the kid out of USC, right? And maybe Penix Jr.
You can't do that. You can't have 2. You can't have 2 number 1 picks like that.
What do you mean?
You can't have 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, you absolutely can. It's a quarterback-driven league. Look at all the standings in the NFL right now. Okay, now we're getting off on a whole sports thing here. Just saying, you look at the NFL standings, and all the teams have losing records. All either have a rookie quarterback or their quarterback was hurt. Yeah, and their quarterback, Justin Fields, can't stay healthy. So I'm just saying, give him a year behind him.
You're going to have the number 1 pick sit on the bench.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
They did that with Aaron Rodgers for the Packers. They did that with Justin Fields. Wasn't he a first-round pick?
But not the number 1 pick. He's not going to sit on the bench. I don't think the number 1 pick sits on the bench.
Okay. So who would you? Okay, that's a.
He didn't cheat.
He totally cheated.
Guy cheated.
He totally cheated. All right. So hey, we don't have a whole lot to talk about today, as you can tell. So not a lot was happening. So if you guys have a question, anybody for the sheriff, please put that in the comments. We'll get to all that in 15 seconds after a word from Spooner Health.
Satisfaction surveys and in conversations with patients, they appreciate the fact that staff got to know them. Staff really took their preferences into account, and they just feel grateful that they are being cared for as a person.
To learn more about our services, visit SpoonerHealth.com.
Yeah, so I don't really have a whole lot today. We didn't have any press releases sent out, and maybe that's a good thing. So one of my favorite shows that we ever do a year is coming up soon, and that's when you have the your report. You send that out. We publish it every year. I love it. I love it. I love it. And we go over the 2023 numbers and kind of look. Okay, you are still there, right?
Yeah, I'm
oh, okay. I just making sure. I'm like the freezers.
Paper.
All right.
That I did
Oh, you know what, Heather? I actually asked Fitzy about that this morning, right before we went live. I nipped in the van fire on 53 heading north this morning to check. I also got an alert about that, and I asked Fitzy, is there anything to this? And his answer was... Nothing. There you go. As far as we know right now, it doesn't...
It was I believe it's going to be a car-deer accident that the car started on fire after he struck the deer. So it's kind of unique in that way, but no one's hurt. There's nothing to that. The highway was closed for a short time. They opened up one lane, and now they're removing the car right now. There's a live update. Boom.
Right here on the show. Good morning, Mindy. And yeah, you bet, Heather. Playing hide and seek, Fitzy. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm here now. So I had to get my list out. I had my list of all the major cases that happened in 2023.
Do you know how many there are? Does it say that, or is it bullet point?
I hit the highlighted ones.
Okay.
And we could just 2023. We started with a fatal fire in January. We had a light February. We had one of our sergeants graduated from the FBI Academy in March.
That's right.
We had a huge PR event in March. We played bingo at the library, one of the largest events at the Rice Library. Obviously, April was a very tragic month. We had the Cameron and Chautauqua shooting. Mary Dexter retired in May. She had 46 years at the Sheriff's Department. We had a triple fatality on Memorial Day. We had a murder-suicide in June. Also, we helped in St. Croix County with their shooting. We had the big hailstorm during the fair. We had 2 drownings in August. We arrested a couple guys for a sand plant burglary.
Oh,
and
what?
We have the sand plant burglary, the guys we caught burglarizing the sand plant in progress. Yeah, that was 2 guys. It wasn't a big case, but it was a big case only because we recovered a lot of stuff that they were stealing.
Oh, that's right. I do remember that.
Yeah. And then we had we were involved in the officer-involved shooting in October. So that's just a highlight of some of our major cases. That doesn't include any of our child porn cases or our drug cases or WI cases. We'll get into all that probably later in the month, but because I don't have those stats right now. But
so when you look back at that list, there was some, positives there, some good things there. I'm not good, but like somebody retired. That's actually a positive. Not that they're retiring, but I mean, you put a whole career into this. So there's some there. Do you look at any of these things and look at those as controllables when you look at it and go, is there something we could have done to prevent that? And I don't want to get into each individual one,
right.
But is this, it happens. Like life happens. These things happen. Is there really, when you look at these and go, I don't like this, I don't like this, is there something that you look at and go, this is a controllable somehow, some way, more training or something, or is it is what it is?
No, well, I wish it wasn't. It is what it is. But yes, in the world of law enforcement, it is what it is. None of those, I don't think, are preventable. If people don't drink and wear their life jackets, I think we don't have drownings. I'm not saying this drowning. Most of our drownings involve people not wearing life jackets, and usually alcohol is involved. Usually, obviously, some of these involve mental health. The officer-involved shooting, the Chautauqua and Cameron shooting. So we have some of that. I mean, that's just not predictable, and it's not. I don't know that we're ever going to solve it. So, it's.
Real quick, Bunny, do your parents even live here anymore?
Do they live here? No, not anymore.
Every time, like, hey, good morning, I have news from Arizona, Texas.
They must be driving in the car.
Okay. Yeah.
Hopefully my dad's driving, not my mom, because she's right.
Yeah. Here's a lot of these things that we talk about does seem to be alcohol drug related. We'll stick on alcohol. Mm-hmm. If alcohol didn't exist, and maybe that means other things would exist to kind of replace it, but alcohol, the serious crimes that you deal with, or the seriousness of a lot of the investigations, crashes, fatalities, really, really bad things. It seems to me that alcohol oftentimes plays a factor, potentially a contributing factor, If it was it just doesn't exist, how much impact would that have, you think, on law enforcement?
I think we're going to be at, I want to say 7 fatalities. I don't have that number right. It's somewhere around that 7 fatalities. And to be honest, I don't know that this year that any of our 7 are alcohol related.
Wow.
I know we had a couple motorcycle fatalities. I know that I would say that they're not alcohol related. The triple fatality was not alcohol related. So, I when it comes to our car accidents, I would say that's an abnormal. That's not something that anybody would have guessed. If I told you we had 7 traffic fatalities and I said to you, how many are alcohol related?
I'd say 5.
You would have said at least half, if not more.
Yeah.
And I don't know that any of them, and I don't quote me on that yet because I'll go through all of those. So we look at that. We have a mapping system that we look at where our accidents happen. We'll show our accidents so our patrol guys can see that, say, boy, a lot of accidents happen at Highway 53 and Highway 8. And that's not where, but let's just say that. And then they can go patrol there more. So we do some predictive analytics to try to look at some of that. So it is something we look at. The state of Wisconsin produces hotspot maps for us where there's a high concentration of accidents so that we can patrol more there. Sometimes it's just road. We always look at that. Our engineers, the state of Wisconsin is an engineer assigned to our area. Anytime we have a fatality, I talk to that engineer. We've talked about that before to say, hey, did the road have something to do with this? What if we put up a third stop sign? What if we put up this? Would that have happened? A lot of times I say, no, it's not that because it's alcohol, drugs, not paying attention, texting and driving, no seatbelt, whatever it is. So, So
does that track like bumper to bumper crashes too? Or is it just the big crashes? Your hot spot
No, that
stuff?
tracks all 7. I think we're at 700 and some accidents in the county.
Do you have one, and maybe I don't know, maybe you can't share this information. Is there one spot that you do seem to see, or when you look at those reports of hotspots where we're not talking about like the worst things or fatalities, just this one intersection tends to be a trouble spot?
I'm just looking it up quick to see if I can. It's community maps for the state of Wisconsin. So you type in Wisconsin community maps and you can enter community maps. Any person can do this. And so if we talk about this, and I can click on Barron County and I can just look at fatalities. Oops, I got to hit. Oops. It shows you every fatality in the state of Wisconsin, every traffic crash, every fatality. You can look at where they are.
Wisconsin community maps.
Wisconsin community maps. And you click on the portal and you can look at any county you want to look at, and you can look at accidents. And I did. We've had 5 crashes with 7 fatalities and 13 injuries. So that's how many we had: 5 crashes and 7 fatalities. And that's because obviously one is a triple fatality. Yeah. So, but if I look at all crashes and apply that, we had 697 crashes in Barron County. 7 fatalities, 239 injured, and 694 crashes are mapped. Now, that includes all of Barron County, so all the city of Rice Lake, and you're going to see the concentration accidents there's a lot on 19th Street, which is the Walmart road. A lot of people refer to that too. But all of our crashes at Walmart are mapped. There's a lot of crashes there, but that's a high concentration of cars. And the city of Barron has got a lot of crashes. A lot of that is just parking lots or, things like that. So, but there was 697 crashes in Barron County last year.
Now, and just to be clear, that isn't just for the Barron County Sheriff's Office. That includes Rice Lake.
All the PDs are included.
Got it. So that's almost, what do you say, 697?
Yep.
697, 365 day. That's 1.9. Yeah, almost 2 a day. I didn't realize that. That seems kind of high. Well, I'm not saying that's probably true. So what I think I'm going to do after this is kind of look at the other counties and see kind of what their number is. I mean, I guess I didn't even know how many countywide, how many crashes there are, including like fender benders and stuff, right? That's what that includes?
Yep. All these. Here's Washburn had 329 accidents. They had 2 fatalities, 105 injured.
Well, that's also we're a third the size of Barron County.
Correct.
So you're going to have more crashes, though, more people that are gathered around a certain area or the larger the county, I'm assuming.
Right.
Do Polk real quick, if you wouldn't mind. Because that's about equal size to you guys.
Polk is... Come on, I want to be Polk. No, 616 crashes.
Okay, so that's okay.
But listen to this. They had 16 fatalities.
Yeah, they did this year's rough year.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a horrible year.
16 fatalities, 254 injured. Wow, that's a lot of fatalities.
Yeah, wow. So it's like when they do have the crashes, it's at least according to statistics and the numbers, they were worse statistically.
So, and they had their fatalities happened on 35. They had 3 of them on Highway 35.
I know.
Highway 65, they had 2. Oh, they had 4 on 35, and on Highway 8 they only had 4. I would have thought Highway 8
I would have thought higher.
Yeah.
We're totally stupid on Brent Walk stuff. Sorry, Brent.
1, 2. I'm just making sure these are all single fatality. Oh, there was a double fatality.
I remember a double.
Yeah. And they had a triple fatality too.
Sure, we did a post on that. I just don't remember it.
9/13/2003. I mean, it tells you everything about the date, the time. Awesome. So he had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of his 13 were on Highway 8.
Highway 8, I tell you.
Yeah, it's not. That one was just outside Turtle Lake, the triple.
Well, I told you, but I think I did. It was a few months ago. Drew and I went out to Adam Jarko's house. We'd never been out there. He invited us out he had some other people out there just for like a dinner. And we ended up on Highway 8, and I'm like, oh, buckle up. Like, seriously, get the Google Maps out and see if there's another direction we can go. I'll take back roads, but I'm not staying on Highway 8. But we did stay on it, and I understand. I'm making some light of some very, very bad crashes, of course. I don't mean to be doing it that way. Obviously, that's horrific that people die anywhere. But interestingly enough, when I was going on Highway 8, which I don't really spend any time on, it was like a straight shot and pretty wide. It seemed fine. And we actually had a conversation about why is it that there are a lot here. Do you know why? Because it seemed pretty straightforward.
Well,
and there wasn't a lot of curves or huge hills. It was fine.
I think 2 things. One, I'll say there's a lot of traffic on it. So when you put a lot of cars on a road, you're going to have more crashes. And I think there's a lot of cross intersections. A lot of roads cross, where you got to pull out or you got to cross. So there is a ton of, every highway, but it's a highway that's got a lot of roads on it. So that cross. So those are my 2 observations because that's what I would say. Now, if you look at our fatalities, I don't even think we had any on Highway 8 this year.
Sure. I thought there was...
I had 1 on Highway 8. One on Highway 8.
Oh?
That was a motorcycle.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that one.
Yeah, it was a motorcycle crash. We had, so ours I had the triple, I was on Highway 25. I had 3 rural ones, and I had the Highway 8 one. So most of mine didn't happen on highways. We had 0 on Highway 53.
Well, you know what? That's great because there used to be a lot. What was it? Is it the Hagen exit?
Hagen entrance, yeah.
27, exit 27 or something, mile marker 27, 20, somewhere around there.
151.
Well, I was way off.
Yeah, you were.
But no, that Hagen exit, until they redid it, like that seriously was, it seemed like all the time.
That's why I think they'll look at Highway 8 and I think it's on the list to be something to be done about that. I don't know what will be done there, but I think that one's on the list because I think there's always happens to be like 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there.
Yeah.
So, some of these other rural roads, there's nothing you can do. I couldn't tell you why they happened. I don't remember them, but if I looked at each dot,
each one, right. Yeah. When did they redo that Hagen?
Well, that was years ago.
Yeah, it was. But I remember when I was younger, there was always something there.
Right.
Trying to cross over there until they did yeah. So when you look at all this, does it again? We're going to go through when you put all the numbers together, and you always then compare it from like 3 years previous or something like that. Which I love numbers and spreadsheet stuff and statistics. That's why I enjoy doing that show so much. Which when are we doing this? End of this month, February.
Probably the end of the month. We should have it done.
Sure. So we'll announce that's what that show is going to be when we know more. But just looking at it right now, is there something that is a takeaway in terms of, okay, it's our first New Year's or our first show of the year. It's our New Year's show. So do you have as a sheriff, from a law enforcement perspective, New Year's resolutions? I mean, not talking about okay, we want to have 0 deaths in Barron. Well, that's unrealistic. But is there something that's right? Right. Yeah, probably not going to happen.
Probably not.
Right.
We already lost.
It's the second, and we blew that one out of the water.
We blew that one out of the water. Yeah. From the sheriff's department standpoint, we just lost 85 years of experience from my chief deputy. My captain was promoted to chief deputy. I promoted a new captain. We lost a dispatcher. We've hired new patrolmen on the bottom end. So I've got a ton of changes at the sheriff's department. I lost 85 years of experience, went out the door. It's the second now. We're restructured our department. We're having a meeting after this with my new command staff. So I have a new command staff that's starting. So I want to complete that restructuring. We have one more person to hire yet. We've got some restructuring, some other positions. We restructured our patrol division to add more people on our road, and we restructured some of our positions. We'll get into that a little bit later in the month. So we got a new promotion into our detective division. Our drug unit was down for the most of the year. Our drug numbers are going to be down. I can tell you right now, without even looking at them, our drug numbers are down. I only had one drug unit guy, and he was brand new to the drug unit. So our drug unit numbers are down. I took our drug unit guy, made him a captain. Now he's the chief deputy. I didn't fill that second drug unit position for 4 months or 5 months probably because I was short on patrol. I just couldn't do it. So drugs took a break in 2023 from the sheriff's department standpoint, and that will be we're going to get our staffing at 100%. We're going to try to keep our staffing at 100%. We're going to work on recruitment and retention. Hopefully, if I don't need recruitment, if I have the retention. So I'm working with the county board in the next couple of weeks to try to get some raises and some different things going on. I know it's 2024 and the budgets are set, but there's been some changes. To be honest, Polk County raised their wage of their dispatchers. So I've got to do the same thing. We're very similar, like you said.
Yeah,
so
your neighboring counties in both about around 45,000 people. They're very similar.
And I just can't lose somebody for $1. That's what businesses do all the day, all day long.
Yeah, why do you think Quick Trip pays 18, 19, 20 bucks an hour? They don't even necessarily. Well, I can't speak for Quick Trip, but 10 years ago, that what they were asked to do was like $12 an hour or $10 an hour. Now it's more. It's like they didn't add more responsibilities, but you got to keep up with everybody else that's around you. Mm-hmm. But that costs money.
It does cost money. So those are things, we've got 2 big upgrades to our Sally port we want to do this year, into our radio system. That probably will cost about $3 million if we do it all. So those are things, we've got some big things right away, and then hopefully it smooths out for the rest of the year and we're done. But those are some big things that we're doing. And so I've got some big goals and some meetings that start actually tomorrow to try to get some things done right away to make sure our employees get taken care of.
Sally Port, I'm sorry.
That is a jail garage. I mean, we need to do, it's 2 stalls. It's very small. When they built this jail 20 years ago, this building's paid for. That was a cut they made. They made that Sally Port smaller from the original design.
And isn't that where they bring people in?
Yeah, they bring people into the jail, yep.
Yeah. Do you recall why and I'm not looking to bang anybody or find blame here, but do you remember why it kind of made it smaller, or what the rationale reasoning was?
It was a cut that instead of cutting from offices, instead of cutting from courtrooms, instead of cutting from whatever our space, that was a room that we figured we could get away with for a while, and they have for 20 years. Sure. And it just needs to be bigger. Vehicles are bigger. We can't, not that we need to, but they should be the size to get a bus in there in case we have to. We're going to take 22 inmates from another county and probably sometime this month. And if they bring them on a bus, we have to unload them outside and walk them outside. And it's just not a safety thing.
Wait, hold on a second. Stop right there. Explain that one from a safety standpoint. Well, I mean, if I was on whoever makes these decisions, your board or whatever, and I'm like, come on, it's right outside that door. Just have them walk in. What's the big deal?
Yeah. Well, it is.
Well, I'm saying, like, what is the big deal? Why you're saying it's a safety thing?
What if they run? I mean, if I got them into a locked building, when they go into our Sally Port, you can't get out unless you're buzzed out. So once you're in jail, you're in. If I release you outside, they can take off running. Do you really want to take that chance? Yeah, I'm not. So it's either manpower needed to, create your own little wall for these people. And so is it huge? No, it's not huge. And if the county board doesn't do it, which they're going to do it because we've been taking all this money from other counties, we want to invest that back into the jail because that's been money that we've gotten for taking these inmates. We're investing in that back into our building to make it better so it lasts another 20 years or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
and if Burnett County, they're almost finished their jail, aren't they?
Yeah,
Isn't that this year? Clearly a jail has been kind of the thing. Washburn County, I think, is potentially looking at expanding to a jail for numerous reasons. Right. So like, this isn't like a Barron County specific thing. Everyone's going, our buildings are pretty, not that they're necessarily old, but our needs today aren't what they were 20 years ago or 30 years ago, so we have to make some adjustments.
Yeah, but our inside of our jail is good. We're going to
know it.
With this jail expansion, the Sally Port, we're actually going to add a room with some more cameras in because most of our courts now are video courts and video visitation and video with lawyers, so no more face-to-face, which stops the stuff from, contraband from coming inside the jail, things like that. So we're going to add 3 more video courtrooms. So video rooms, so probation and parole. So no one has to wait to get to their inmate. Right now we only have 3. So if 3 people are using it, we have to have a sign-in sheet. So if we can create 6 rooms, we can get more people in and out of the jail system quicker. They can get more services quicker. So lots of things can happen if you allow them. And so with this expansion, it won't be just a garage. It'll be a new video visitation area too. Safer,
and also some TV monitors so all your inmates can watch Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy show. I mean,
we should make them watch this. That's
part of
that'd be cruel and unusual punishment, I think. I think that's a violation of their civil rights.
And by the way, when you said your jail's nice, I said, I know. What I meant was you gave us a tour one of the times we're down. I wasn't in the jail. Like, I wasn't arrested. I just want to clarify that. I have some recommendations. Oh, my goodness.
So that's what we got going on in 2024, which started today, and we had a very quiet New Year's. I worked for a while. I got tired. I can't stay up as late as I thought I could. But it was very quiet out. Like I said, I think we had a OWI or 2, not very many.
Wow.
Had some crashes that were non-alcohol related.
Excellent.
So the roads were kind of slippery. It had kind of iced over. We had a couple crashes during that ice storm. It wasn't really ice, but the mist kind of froze. Like the fog, the mist kind of froze to the roads for a little bit on the 30th, which bleeded over into the 31st a little bit, but no major incidents. Great night. Everybody had fun. The Packers won, which created less drama in the world. So this is a proven fact. There's no scientific data behind that, but when the Packers win, everybody's a lot more happier.
Couldn't find out. So you had mentioned, I wrote this down real quick. I was trying to remember the times, but you said you lost about 85 years. I remember when Dad retired as the sheriff of Washburn County. A few months later, Mike Richter had retired. He had about 30. And then about a year later, then he was now the new chief deputy. Nick Helstern, he had retired. That's probably about 30 years. So that's about 100 years. And I remember talking to someone that's kind of in the know about the sheriff's office that was still there. I said, so you lost some people, you got to put some other people in, et cetera. It's like, but it's not just the person.
Right.
It's the experience. Like you can't pay, if you paid $100 an hour, you can't replace the knowledge that they have.
Right.
So that was the hardest part, is the news. So speaking of staff, hold on a second. My mother. Well,
she's in California.
Yeah, she and my sister went out there. They went to the Rose Bowl parade. It was like one of my mom's bucket list items, I think, was to go to watch the Rose Bowl parade. I think that's one of the reasons that they're out there, and to see some big trees. What are they called?
Palm trees?
No, and those aren't even native to California. They aren't. They're actually they didn't that they bust all those things in, like palm trees are native to Florida, I think, not California, but they have to transplant. No, that's the sequoias. That's the one.
Oh, that's a big tree.
Yeah, now that's a big tree.
That's a big tree.
Good morning, Mom. Oh my goodness, it must be like 7 a.m. out there in California. Redwood, maybe that could. Oh, maybe that's it. Redwoods. I don't know. Talk to her. So speaking of staffing,
Okay.
So, which is where I was going with this. You've lost some people. You lost some experience. You've kind of backfilled some, which that's what every business does or organization does. As it sits right now, what percentage? How many positions do you have open? Is this we gotta kind of get double down and some focus? Because if we don't start doing some things now, we're gonna start losing more people. You and I have talked about this before about staffing in law enforcement and people not going into law enforcement, but. You had said that it really hasn't impacted the Barron County Sheriff's Office at this point. Is it getting to that point where you're starting to become a little concerned that, okay, still technically we're not wildly impacted negatively yet, but it's coming unless we make some changes?
Well, I think we hired 3, obviously 2 from Spooner. So Mikey is not very happy with me, but sorry, Chief.
Hey,
I didn't go.
Hey.
Sorry, Spooner. I can't go to Spooner anymore. I have to meet you in Shell Lake now because Wilson still likes me. So I feel bad for Mike and Spooner, but he got good people. I mean,
so we're gonna take them. That's how.
But for the first time, we hired a recent recruit. I think that might be one of the first times we hired out of the recruit school. So the experience it's tough to come by right now. Our night shifts are going to be very young when we make these transitions. It's not always bad. There's new ideas, there's new officers, there's new ambition, there's new, drive. So that's good. It's great for departments, but no, right now, while we haven't started one, the chief asked if he could keep the person until mid-January, and I said yes, that would be fine. So we're working as long as we can and allowing Spooner to, keep their person as long as we can. We're working with, our jail is only one person down right now. Our dispatch is one person down right now. So I'm hiring a dispatcher. We're going through dispatch apps this morning yet. So we've got some things we're doing, but no, I'm not in any, trouble right now. It's been good. It got scary there for a little bit. When we only had, I think 7 interviews for 3 positions, but we hired good people. But they're going to be young, but that again, got to look at the positive. The little things can make a big difference. It's drive. It maybe you can get somebody that's been here 10 years, some new ambition because the younger person's like, let's go get bad guys. And
that's right. You see something different.
Right.
Someone else, Mom says Float Fest. I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Well, there's parades, there's floats in a parade.
Yeah, is that what? So it's not called a parade; it's called a float. Whatever. I haven't talked to Mom since she's been gone, so I don't know. I don't know what that is.
I don't think she's home yet, so don't call her.
No, she isn't. She's gone like all week. Well, Mr. Guy's coming to you from Spooner. Wait, now you? What did you say? Like you're going to allow him or that individual? Shouldn't say him. That person to stay at Spooner as long as possible.
Well, he asked if he could keep him because of some vacations and some other things. If we can keep him, and weird. I said, you can. Yeah,
I'm thinking like in real world terms, like of a relationship. All right, we're gonna break up, and she's like, "Well, I want to go see this other guy." Well, hold on, I got some family, Thanksgiving coming up. Can you just hold off before you leave and just at least go with me to Thanksgiving, so I don't hear from my parents? Right, then break up with me. It just sounds so funny.
I'll probably
you can have them, but just hold on a little bit.
I probably owe Mikey some breakfast and Spooner someday, so maybe we'll meet for breakfast.
Oh, that's funny.
I'll have to take you with me though, so I have a witness.
Oh,
that's right.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, we're gonna break up, but just stay with me for 2
just
more weeks.
Just a little bit. I got this holiday coming up, and my parents are gonna be here, and
right.
I don't want all the judgment. And where's the girlfriend? Just give me 3 more weeks.
We better get to the weather.
Okay, yes, we should. Okay, there it is. Dirk, our weatherman, Johnny on the spot. Thank you so much, Dirk. Forecast mostly cloudy today. Highs 20s to around 30. Cloudy tomorrow. Highs in the mid-20s. Thursday, a return to sunshine. Friday and the weekend, a chance of light snow. Highs 25 to 30. Winter returns next week, colder temps. All right, so that's actually fine, right? Just chilly temperatures, nothing below 0, and no 6-inch snow or 6 inches of snow coming this week. So, yes, thank you. You did totally save us. Thank you. We were getting off the rails there on that one.
You did.
All right, what do you got coming up this week?
I got lots of meetings. We're going to kick off the new year with lots more meetings. I don't believe I'm going to be here next week. As of right now, I'm trying to, but it looks like I had to cancel class because of some things going on last week. I was supposed to talk or not last week, 2 weeks ago, before Christmas in Rice Lake to do our drug and alcohol talk, and I love doing that. And so it looks like Tuesday's the only day I can get fitted in their class.
Maybe we'll have to get Mikey on, Chief Hamburger on. And,
Wait, I want to be on with that one.
Well, all right. No, that's probably a big deal. I'm sure with enough notice, I'm sure we can find someone to fill in for you next week. Right. If not, then we'll take the week off, but hopefully we'll be able to find someone. Yeah. And this Thursday, I have the guest this Thursday is Emily Gall. Yeah, she's fantastic. She's the founder of, I'm sure you've heard of North of 8 Designs. They do websites and logos and stuff. They've been doing it for years. They just kill it. She'll be on, I think she's actually running for board in Burnett County as well. Excuse me. She's actually done some campaign stuff for a candidate. She's just a great human being. So I can't wait. Because usually we're talking to politicians, we're talking to sheriffs or law enforcement. She is a business owner, but it's just going to be great to have a different perspective on a whole bunch of things. Can't wait. We have nothing actually written down. It's going to be fantastic. So try to catch that.
My Facebook and I got to get better on my posts, and so I got to take a class to figure out how to make cooler designs for our Facebook.
Does she do Emily that? Go. Yeah, I'll. You know what? Hold on a second. I'm going to forget.
Does she do cool Facebook stuff?
Do you do cool Facebook stuff? All right, it's written down. I'll bring it up and I'll let you know what she says.
All right, sounds like a great plan.
Awesome. Hey, thanks so much, Fitzy. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, won't see you next week, but I'm sure I'll be in touch since then. Hopefully, it'll be 2 weeks. Wouldn't that be fantastic? We had no press releases from you.
That's a goal.
Over 2 weeks. All right, for Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Dryden Wire founder Ben Dryden, and you've been watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With 20 years of experience as locally owned and operated business, provides quality work both on the inside and on the outside of your home or business. Like Fitzy and I, they believe it's the little things that make a big difference. Give Brian a call today. The number's right down the screen, 715-520-2271. Fitzy and I, we're supposed to be taking a 6-day, 23-hour, and 50-minute break. Fitzy will be off next week. I may be having a fill-in guest. We always announce the day before our show if we're doing a show or not, and if so, with whom. So Monday of next week, we'll let you know what the plans are for next week. So until then, thank you for watching, and as always, have a blessed day.